Trade Genius.
What's up, guys? Philip with Trade Genius. All right, let's just get right into this. Bitcoin big update today. The bar will close in a few hours on the daily. In all likelihood, looks like it's going to be a pretty large up bar, which is going to be comparable to this bar that we had back here in April. And historically, when we get our big green bars, you're going to see several days, if not a week or two at least, of follow through. What's interesting about this move is that we're going into what's been a major iron lid on Bitcoin price, and that's this downtrend line. This is the old pennant that we fell out of, and that's when everybody thought the end days were here for crypto. It's just a really bad sentiment once we broke out of this and came down to this previous level. So the question I've been getting is the bottom in? Are we making a major low here? And we're not talking about like this type of bottom where we had this move here, or this type of bottom which we have this move here. I mean, we're seeing that obviously here, but what's different on this one and why I like this bottom more so than these previous two, obviously this was a capitulation bottom. Those are pretty easy to identify and call, and they're going to last for a while. But then you have this larger consolidation period that goes longer than anybody ever wants, and it's because of this top, this blow off top, and you've seen it a number of times. If you go back and look at Bitcoin charts, and I've showed them on this channel, all the different times you have a blow off top, I don't care if it was up over 200 or up over 1000, they tend to repeat, and you get these same consolidation periods. So why I like this bottom better than the previous two that we've had here, and why this might be the end of this consolidation period. And again, we're going to go over what needs to happen, but why I'm kind of keen on this is if you go to the weekly chart, you're going to notice something here. We actually did kind of a tweezer bottom, so that's when you have like two wicks like that, and we made what's called a swing failure pattern. So we made a new low, but we didn't get a close below this, and now we've broken up and out and made a higher high. So that's actually a pretty bullish turnaround, and didn't really get that. Like this previous spike low was never really tested, and so a swing failure off of that is very, very bullish in my book. And so that's what I look at as something that's different than, say, this bottom here and this bottom. So we had this big, after this big capitulation bottom, continued to have pretty good volatility until recently, where the candles, especially on the weekly, as you can see compared to the previous weeks, really gotten tight. And a lot of times you'll see that resolve with a breakout, and that's what we have here. So again, let's look at the levels that now we have to basically break through to start getting into areas of, new ranges higher, essentially. You'll notice here, again, we're really close to this trend line. So obviously this area here at 7,500 to, let's say, 7,560, that's going to be an area where I would expect to see the bears come out to attempt to short this, and you may see some profit taking there. Now, obviously, this 6,800 level is a big area now of support. Once you break it, it flips to support. So any pullbacks to that would probably be bought pretty hard, and a decent bounce off of that. If we look at this other chart too, you'll notice the head and shoulders that we were working on, we talked about, +2, our daily signal. I wasn't kidding. When you get the up, down, up formation, it generally creates a nice move up, and it's just a matter of identifying when we might be setting up for that. First clue is when the first one fails, you get stopped out of that, and then where the oscillator is too on this other chart. You'll notice the other clue is that we're oversold, and typically when the oscillator is before 40, this is the Trade Genius oscillator, which we'll be releasing shortly. It kind of gives you the historical levels of oversold, more so than, it's a less noisy than the RSI and the MACD or the stochastic RSI. Again, it's just another gauge on your trading dashboard, really, to help you frame things. But so once we got into this, I was expecting this to round off, especially since it was the right shoulder. So as you recall in the previous videos, we were expecting this move up. Now we've blown out this bearish fib zone. That's gone. And so really now what we're looking at is this larger fib zone. And actually, we need to drag this down to this low here. All right, so this is going to be the current bear zone that needs to be breached. And then we have another one above it over here. So these are two major levels that I'm looking at that would have to break through. So there's still a lot of work, okay? We've got a couple of resistance levels here. So I'm going to call them out. You've got 7,500 roughly. Then you've got basically where the upper trend line is going to meet price approximately around 77.60 or so. And then you start getting into this bear fib zone. So there's a lot here that's going to battle. Now we could go up, battle through it, pull back, and eat at it over time and then grind higher. But I think if we clear this 83.50 area, we're probably going to see another run up to about 91.50. But this is great and all, but let's not get too excited just yet. Though I think that, again, for the reasons I showed you on the weekly, I think this has a really good candidate for putting in a bottom, major bottom, where we're not going to see this level for a long time, if ever again. But what we're going to do at this point, with that being said, is kind of have a bullish bias going forward, but we're going to respect these levels, okay? Because like I said, there's a lot of bearish resistance that has to be eaten through, and you can see these volume nodes that need to be broken. Did a good job at 6,800. The other reason why I like this as a bottom too, long-term bottom, is because you notice that when we fail like we did at 11,700, for example, I mean, it was a pretty major long sell-off. Down, 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 down. And this took no time in holding the bottom and then reversing higher. So this whole area here looks a lot different than our double failure at 11,700, doesn't it? All right, so again, ranges get tighter and tighter and tighter until you get a bullish breakout and reverse trend. So that's my sentiment here. I normally do these midweek, but because of the large move, we currently hit our target in the room on Bitcoin, and so we're currently now going to wait to see what we get for a pullback. I think we're close enough here resistance-wise that it would be safe to step aside and see what's going on for swinging. For hodling, this is bigger picture, is just the first thrust up, and we should see 2 or 3 major thrusts out. So, at this point now, we're going to see some consolidation, like say on the 4-hour chart. As far as altcoins go, so this is your 4-hour chart, extremely overbought, guys. And so, quite certainly could see quite a bit of pullback. Look for a bull flag. So again, that's going to be when price does this kind of thing, right? And then what you're going to do is you're going to look for a trend line like that, and then price to break higher. And then what we'll do in the room is we'll look at fib ranges and extensions, and then the next volume nodes above that. So probably smaller swing trades as we work. Now that we've gotten a big chunk of the move out of the way and profited on, we can start taking smaller chunks out. But longer term hodls, you're doing just fine right now. Okay, now as far as the alt market goes, guys, what we're seeing right now is, and we can bring up the multi-charts. Okay, but you can see like the dollar pairs are, this is a dollar pair, and dollar pair on Litecoin. So those have all generally seen the same thing. Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin, same moves, but their Bitcoin counterparts are all getting smashed. This is the Hulk smash that happens. I'm not too worried about this because this actually is a pattern you see before you see a major turnaround. And so you give this about 24 to 48 hours, look for some strong support levels, and I think you're going to see alts bounce. But you got to let them get smashed here a little bit. Sub has been bucking the trend. That's very impressive. Steemit spiked up and then immediately got crushed. Ion down. Binance Coin is down, although that's going to be a good buy because Binance, let's face it, that token is going to be in demand for a while. Ripple, even though I don't care what you think about Ripple, just talking about a trading setup, I think after this down move is over, probably going to have a nice move up. So I would look for gaining position into altcoins relatively soon, but let Bitcoin maybe get another thruster out of the way. So that's kind of my outlook here, guys, on current crypto space. again, very, very bullish turnaround, the definite reversal of price action here on Bitcoin. But again, got to get past these levels. So let's see how things develop, see how bullish this is. We had decent volume here, so that's good. And we'll do another update in the next 24 to 48 hours on Bitcoin. Guys, thanks for watching. Please hit like and subscribe. We appreciate it. I'll see you on the next video. Take care.
Trade Genius.